Hello, hello, hello. My name is Jack Taylor, and this is Imagine Easter Part 16. I hope you've been barely hanging in there through our series so far. Today we're talking about Lazarus. And there is no greater foreshadowing of the Easter story triumph than the story of Lazarus of Bethany. Now, this is a mind-twisting, soul-numbing incident happening to some of Jesus' closest friends. And the setting starts with a confrontation between Jesus and the Jews in the temple during the Feast of Dedication. It's wintertime. The Jews ask him how long he plans to keep them in suspense. Will he make his messianic claim clear? And Jesus says, I did tell you, but you don't believe. My sheep listen to my voice. You don't. So you're not one of mine. He says, I and the Father are one. And so the Jews pick up stones to stone him, saying, we're stoning you for blasphemy because you, a mere man, claim to be God. There was no question in the Jews' mind that Jesus claimed to be God. So Jesus escapes across the Jordan and he hides. And then the report comes, Lazarus is sick. Now Jesus says this sickness won't end in death. Let's stay where we are. We read now, Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. So when he heard that Lazarus was sick, he stayed where he was 2 more days. What? How does that demonstrate love? You ever wondered this when you're desperately asking God for intervention and nothing happens for days or longer? Finally, Jesus says to his followers, it's time to go. And wait, his followers say, didn't those Jews just try to stone you? We have to wake Lazarus up, Jesus says. And they don't get it. They say, well, if he sleeps, he'll get better. And Jesus says, Lazarus is dead. For your sake, I am glad I was not there, so that you may believe. But let's go to him. Thomas says, okay, I guess we're all gonna die. Lazarus has been in the tomb 4 days, and Martha says, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. But I know that even now God will give you whatever you ask. And Jesus says to her, your brother will rise again. And Martha answered, I know he'll rise again in the resurrection at the last day. All of us will. Now, many of the Jews believed in a resurrection. That wasn't a surprise. Daniel talked about it. However, they believed that the resurrection didn't happen until the end of the age, and it happened to everyone together all at once. No one believed in individual resurrections. So Jesus bends her mind when he says, I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live even though they die, and whoever lives by believing in me will never die. Do you believe this? I mean, never mind Martha, back then, before Easter, after just having buried her brother. Do you believe this? Right here, right now, in whatever you're facing, what difference does it make for you to believe? What is different on the inside now that wouldn't be true if you didn't believe? Well, Martha outbelieves the disciples. Yes, Lord, she says, I believe that you're the Messiah, the Son of God, who is to come into the world. Martha, Mary, and the other mourners follow Jesus to the tomb, and the tears are flowing, and Jesus weeps with the rest. He deeply weeps. His love is clear, but this raises questions. If Jesus can open the eyes of the blind, why couldn't he have helped in this situation? So many times in the timing of God, the ways of God, the actions of God leave us with more questions than answers, especially when it comes to Easter. Why this way? Why to this person? Jesus is deeply moved. He is raging. Is he raging inside at death? This enemy he will soon take on. Take away the stone, he says. Now, something sounds familiar here. He stinks by now, they respond. Did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God? Jesus answers. Oh, so this death and resurrection has something to do with the glory of God on display to a watching world. A prayer goes up. Father, I thank you that you have heard me. I knew that you always hear me. But I said this for the benefit of the people standing here, that they may believe that you sent me. And then he says, Lazarus, come out. Who commands a corpse to come out, to move, to live? Only the Lord of life. Is this what we see when Jesus commands each of us who are dead in sins to come on out, to move, to live? Take off the grave clothes and let him live. So now we're so close to Easter. The picture is clear. Death and resurrection are under the control of the Lord of life. He speaks and acts for the glory of God. No delay is an accident. No tragedy is a waste of life. So Lazarus becomes a witness. And so the religious authorities decide they're going to kill him and Jesus both. They don't get it. A word from this Lord brought creation into being. A word from this Lord also raised the dead. What he can do again. So Lazarus lives. Now we've been raised by the Lord of life. Will we live? Join me again tomorrow as we take a look at the shadowed side of Easter. Let's keep imagining Easter together.